Welcome to the Fourth Down Experience, the podcast devoted to special teams. Your host of the Fourth Down Experience, former pro free agent, 9-year professional kicking coach out of the Midwest, Coach Chris Hughesby. Alongside Coach Chris Hughesby is a former 2-time Arena Bowl champ, 9-year pro kicking coach, repping the South, Coach Brian Jackson.
Hey, what's up, 4D Nation? Hope you're all doing well. We are here for your industry news talk. Sorry we missed you last week. Life keeps keeping us busy, so we're here. We're going to just talk about some of the highlights and the downfalls of the last few weeks. How you doing, Brian?
I'm good. I disagree. I don't think there was a whole lot of downfalls. I know there was a lot of really good field goal kicking, a lot of field goals that were made. I think this will be an awesome experience here on the Fourth Down Experience of industry news.
No, you hit that one on the head. It just seems like over the last 2 weeks, the equilibrium of special teams and specialists flipped from having a few disastrous weeks to finally having some big time weeks. And even just a few weeks ago, Brian, 2 weekends ago, a lot of game-winning field goals. So that was exciting to see. I mean, let's talk about the big one. Graham Gano, 63-yard game winner. I mean, that was amazing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude just launched it. Beautiful snap and hold. And we'll have a guest on the Fourth Down Experience here shortly out of that crew. But he cleared that field goal by 5 to 7 yards with ease.
Well, I'll tell you what, another guy who has a pretty big leg, had a big performance, Matt Bryant, 57-yarder to close out the game, basically secured the win for the Falcons with a 34-29 win. That guy keeps doing it. We had him on I think it was our third interview when we started podcasting. So he's been fun to follow just because of that and knowing his training regiment. Did you get a chance to see that kick, Brian?
Yeah, and it's almost like you just get better with age. It's like your swing, your foot-to-ball contact. Just the more you get older, the more you understand that you need to be in top-notch shape. So, Matt Bryant, he's crushing 50-yarders all over the place. He gets a week off. I don't know if it's a groin or hip flexor injury. I think they're keeping it on the low, but I think he posted a picture recently on Instagram and Facebook that gets a week off. So I'm sure Money Matt will be back kicking here shortly, and just kind of like Cairo Santos. He had a couple games for the Rams to free up Greg Zuerlein, and now he's a free agent. Greg's kicking back with the Rams. Same thing probably will happen with the Falcons. Money Matt will be back, and Giorgio at least will have a couple games underneath his belt.
Yeah, good opportunity for Giorgio. He got signed, obviously, because Matt had that injury. We're recording this on Monday Night Football, or Monday night. Giorgio had a sweet game. 3 for 3 on field goals, 2 for 2 on PATs. Had a 50-yard field goal, and I think 56-yard field goal. That's a good way to showcase your leg to basically be the next on-call kicker in the NFL.
Oh, no doubt. Any chance you get to play 1 or 2 games like this, you got to kill it, and good for Giorgio to do that. Yep. I think one of the biggest performances got to be Jason Myers. 7 for 7 on field goals.
Yeah. Jets record, 7 for 7 on field goals, a few PATs. I think it was 3 PATs. That's a huge game. Confidence booster, obviously. He most definitely leads the league in kick scoring for sure. Obviously, we've talked about this a lot in previous podcasts. We've gotten the chance to know Jason and kick with him and hold for him, past camps that we've been involved with. Great guy. Hoping to get him on a future podcast here soon, but nothing but love and respect for what he's doing. He had a good career with Jacksonville, and then unfortunately got cut. Short stint with Seattle, and now he's got something going with the Jets, so that's pretty sweet. 2 other game winners just from even last week. Jason Sanders from Miami, game winner in overtime. Mason Crosby, he got it back on track after that disastrous week. Kicked another game winner last week.
Bounce back week. Stoked for him. He had a great performance, and he came in clutch, and a lot of people forget real quick. A lot of people are in the moment, what's going on right now, and that was big for Mason. I'm glad he did that.
Matt Bryant had the right quote, from just that game. He was like, on Twitter, last night's game showed a good example of the life of a kicker. Sometimes it's kick to kick, and in this case, it's game to game. Went from the outhouse to the penthouse, which is totally true. I love it. Pretty cool.
That's hilarious.
So, last few tidbits, guys. Adam Vinatieri, the GOAT, 5 points away from breaking the record. He's be fun. I think all eyes will be glued on him for this upcoming week.
Biggest record out there right now, dude. He'll break it the next game, pending he's playing. He'll break it. I mean, you're only talking 2 field goals or a few extra points in a field goal, etc. So, should happen this coming up week.
Yeah, it'll be a record he'll hold probably forever. The longevity of the kicker isn't the same as it used to be, but however, Vinatieri had a different record broken against him, or not necessarily broken, but he was passed. Lewis Ward, he was our last interviewee, episode 40, breaks the record for just pro football in general, so it kind of covers Canadian football, pro football, all that sort of things. He passes Vinatieri with 45 straight consecutive field goals. That's amazing.
Yeah, dude, I mean, just to make that many field goals in a row, it's just so hard. And, like he had said, once you're making that many in a row, it's almost like the goalposts get wider. So kudos to him, doing big things. Yep.
Last little bit of kind of industry news that I find interesting is Justin Tucker finally missed his first ever PAT. And unfortunately, though, they lost the game by 1 point. So that didn't help. But it's just crazy to think how automatic Tucker's been on PATs in his career.
Yeah, and making 222 straight pats is awesome. Half of those were from the 20-yard mark. The other half were since 2015 is when they moved it back to 33 yards. So you got to imagine, not missing a single one from 33 with a little over 100 attempts is so impressive. It just happened to be at a not so good time. I liked one of the guards, one of the offensive linemen. He had to say, he was quoted saying that they have so much confidence in Justin and they're not worried about him at all, and they're his kicker. So it's pretty cool when you got your own lineman saying stuff like that about you.
Yep, I agree. We can't end the episode here without talking about the Pat McAfee documentary. Did you get a chance to see it, Brian?
Yeah, that was hilarious. That was very entertaining.
Yeah, for a while I couldn't figure out, before it got released, I was like, why are they advertising for a baseball documentary? And I thought it was just him trying to be funny and having a, play on names or something like that. And then, then he started advertising for it and you could pre-buy it, and I bought it. And I actually think I heard there were 30,000 people that purchased that. That's pretty sweet.
Holy folks.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, yeah. It was very entertaining, and the guys that he was playing with in that league and on that team, I think they were pretty entertained by Pat, and it was pretty cool to see him get a hit. So that's cool.
Yeah, I agree. Well, guys, that wraps it up for industry news. We know that there's a lot of stuff that happens week in and week out at different levels, and we try to pull out the highlights. The highlights, the lowlights. Thanks again, guys, for following us and listening. We hit 11,386 plays as of today, actually, when this is going to air. So thanks a lot, and really kind of came in strong for us, so we appreciate that.
Yeah, keep on listening to our podcast, guys. Subscribe. Make sure you're giving us 5-star reviews. We'll keep on putting up 5-star athletes and coaches here on the pod, man. All for fourth downs and all for the brand, like Pat would say.
Yeah, we got some big names aligned, guys, in the NFC coming up. Even a GOAT, somebody that is in the top 5 for scoring all time. We're gonna have an interview lined up with him soon. We're locking in the date, so we're excited, guys. Hopefully, if you listen to this episode in real time, tomorrow, Tuesday, you're gonna hear a pretty sweet interview with one of the Carolina specialists. So stay tuned. You're going to love it. We loved it. And thanks again, guys. And we'll see you next week.
Appreciate y'all. Deuce.
Thank you for listening to the Fourth Down Experience. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Fourth Down Experience.